Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, so many people have sent me that Hasan has covered the Cody Co allegations. Now, I'm loving that, like, as more and more people cover the Cody Co allegations, like, my social media is being flooded with people being like, you need to react to this, you need to give your take on this, because we've been covering the Cody Co thing for quite some time. And it's interesting seeing these big players in the community and their coverage of it. And basically, with each of these that comes out, there's just growing pressure for Cody Co to address it in some format. So thank you to everyone who sent me this. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. By the way, 68% of people here who watch in the last couple of weeks are not subscribed. So I'm gonna be here every day. Please consider subscribing. It's the biggest support of my channel. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, let's get to this. I'm excited to see Hasan's take on this. It's been a while since I've seen a Hasan video, actually. All right, let's get to this. The Cody Co allegations.
We're going to be covering the Cody Co situation. Now, I just want to start off by apologizing for hiding the truth, sheltering you from the truth for so long.
Now, also, I'm pretty sure that Hasan has done some podcast in some form with Tana Mongeau. I'm pretty sure I watched something like that. Now, it was after so I may be making that up, but I'm pretty sure I watched a podcast of Hasan and Tana together. So I knew that there's a fucking fly in here. Fuck off. Oh my god, why is it following me? 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 What the fuck? You definitely saw it follow me too. Like, I know it is there. Like, I felt it bumping off my skin. But if you didn't see it, that's probably really fucking embarrassing. You're like, Adam's having an episode. So yeah, I definitely know that they've done things together. So I knew that eventually Cody was going to cover this. Cody has been covering, hello. I knew that eventually Hasan was going to cover this. I really respect Hasan. I really respect a lot of his takes. And I really, really, really respect his outspokenness about Palestine and how he has been for very long. I have a lot of respect for Hasan, and I very much so value his opinion on a lot of things. So anyway, yeah, I think that they had some sort of public relation together by doing a podcast. I don't mean dating, by the way. I mean just like public relation.
It's not going to be a funny thing at all, by the way. I don't know why you wanted to be a part of it, but D'Angelo Wallace had a good video on it, as far as I understand. Cody Co, for those of you who don't know, because a lot of you are in here for serious news and commentary, Cody Co is a YouTuber. He's a beloved YouTuber with a massive audience. I've known him for like 10 years. I met him a long time ago. I mean, we're not like super close or anything, but I have known him for...
It's interesting how basically everyone who's covering this now has met Cody in some capacity. Like, they're all not friends, but they've all met. It just goes to show, like, how long Cody has been in the damn industry for, and, like, how many relations he's created with people. And there is, like, such a phenomenon on, like, if you're creating that many relations within a platform or a community, are you indirectly protecting yourself? You know what I mean? Because you're creating relations with people so they'll feel a little bit more reserved talking bad about you. Clearly, thank God it's not working anymore, and God bless D'Angelo Wallace for that.
10+ years almost at this point, and something that I did not know about him was what he apparently did when he was 25 years old to a 17-year-old, also very famous at the time, content creator, Tana Mongeau, or Mojo. I already f***ed it up. I should do it again. I should do it. I need a do-over. Anyway.
God. The fucking fly was like landing on my... Okay, you're really pissing me off. You're really pissing me off. It was on my screen, and when I looked up, I thought it was on my face. By the way, I promised you that I'm completely sober right now. I just have such a fucking fear of flies. And that bastard's big, too. And you know why it won't leave me alone? Because I'm filming in front of, quite honestly, the biggest ring light you've ever seen in your entire life. Where are you, little bastard? Oh, not so confident whenever I fucking call you out, are you? Is that you? Oh, it is you. Okay, honestly, if you want to hang out on that chair over there, you can do it. You know the chair I film my email videos on? Where'd it go? I swear to God, where did it go? Okay, it's not on the chair. I'm literally just gonna continue on with the video and pretend that I don't know that it is in this room. But yeah, is creating so many relations with people in the community like a way of protecting yourself? You know what I mean? Maybe. I mean, literally everyone speaking out about Cody now is like, oh, I met him once. You know what I mean? At least once.
D'Angelo Wallace, take it away.
All right, Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online.
No, I mean, we've spoken about this, but again, this is like, I mean, hearing the video from D'Angelo again, the phrasing of Tana Mongeau being an unlikable woman, like, I mean, we listened to Tana be like, I don't think I'm that unlikable anymore, but it's like, I don't think that Tana Mongeau is who people, like, I don't think people, the way people make Tana Mongeau's reputation out to be nowadays is reflective on how it is. Tana Mongeau is actually quite respected within the YouTube community now because she is one of the top podcasts in America. Like, not only just in the community, like, Tana Mongeau is one half of one of the biggest podcasts in America. And she's going on tour and selling out, you know, venues all around America. And, you know, she just announced another tour today. Like, not every YouTuber can do that. Hi, Colleen. So I don't necessarily think her reputation is... I feel like people are thinking back on years past. Now, keep in mind, she's definitely done things still to this day that are questionable, like in the last couple of years. But I definitely don't think it's a truthful portrayal of Tana Mongeau nowadays to kind of say that, you know, no one wants to believe her because she's very unlikable now. I don't necessarily think that's true.
Tana Mongeau. And you...
Okay, first of all, right off the jump...
Is he going to say the same thing I just said?
I don't think Tana Mongeau is an unlikable woman. I think she's very likable. You guys should watch the episode of the Fear and podcast that we...
I have an amazing memory. 9 months ago, yes, they did do the thing together. Okay, I have seen that.
Yeah, with her. I mean, she was... I think she was an unlikable woman.
Yeah, she definitely turned a page.
Yeah, but
she's got a massive audience as well.
Yeah, she has a massive... She, even in this... I mean, look at this. She has, like, almost the same number of subscribers as Cody does.
Yeah, well.
She was definitely... a very controversial and very unliked person for some time, but I don't think she's like that anymore. She's actually grown up quite a bit.
What was annoying as well when everyone hated her, she was like exactly the same as Jake Paul, like that same kind of annoying person.
Yeah.
But everyone just hated her more. Like,
well, that's because she was a girl.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is. So she said the N-word, right? Isn't that what it was? And then idubbbz said the N-word to her.
I was going to say, wasn't that idubbbz?
No, What to this day is really crazy to me about the idubbbz thing, and I'm really happy he brought this up because I've always wanted to say this in a video, but I never think I've had the opportunity. Like, it's never came up. Tana Mongeau, rightfully so, was held accountable, and had to have been, for her use of the M-word, right? And her justification for it was so stupid as well. She was like, I'm from Las Vegas, and I thought that word meant my homie. Girl. But what really, even back when the video dropped, really bothered me was I was in school at the time. I think I was in secondary school. I would have been like probably in secondary school when the idubbbz video dropped. And in my class, there was like, it was like idubbbz like fans. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like edgy, annoying boys. Like they were the ones I went to class with. There was like a big group of maybe 7 of them in my class. Like just like dweebs. And they were so irritating, and they loved idubbbz and they loved that type of thing, and like very reflective of idubbbz. I mean, like every day in school they would be using slurs, and it was kind of this audience that idubbbz specifically at that time curated and built upon. And what was really, my nose is so itchy. What was really crazy to me about the idubbbz situation was that Tana Mongeau got cancelled for saying the N-word. And then idubbbz went to her show and said the N-word to her. And then the internet turned against her even more because idubbbz had said the N-word to her, making fun of the fact that she had said the N-word. I feel like the fly just landed on my head and moved whenever I moved my head. Little bastard needs to fuck off. Like, I didn't get it at all. So idubbbz was loved because he went to Tana Mongeau's show And to make fun of her for saying the N-word, he said the N-word to her. Right. Right. And I remember so vividly when the video had dropped, because the guys in my class that were like the idubbbz people, right? They were playing the video during lunchtime because we had school iPads as well. And they would just repeat that part, and they'd be like, look at the way she reacts. And I'm like, yeah, but he also just said the M-word to her to highlight the fact that it's a problem that she said the M-word. Like, I'm like, are y'all stupid? Like, is there anything up there? Anyways, I'm so glad I had the opportunity to like say that. What's your opinion on that?
I think she like originally. I think she originally said the N-word, and then like idubbbz was like proving a point to her by saying the N-word as well. But like it was of course unacceptable completely, and a lot has changed since then.
People are ignoring this because nobody is working harder to bury the story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it.
My favorite thing with this Hasan clip is the same as like the Charlie. Whenever they're watching D'Angelo be like, there's a problem in the commentary. They're silencing this and defending you by not talking about it. And I love seeing the reaction and just like what they're going to say next. They're all gonna be like, I didn't know about this. I never heard of it.
The situation has been talked about by smaller channels. It's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people.
I suspect this is the reason why people were saying like, Hasan, your silence is deafening on the matter, as though like this is in my purview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suspect that was the reason. Shouldn't this be a legal issue, and drama is a stupid way to approach actual legal claims? I think, as far as I understand, and I'm not like the most knowledgeable on this issue at all, but as far as I understand, I think the statute of limitations is probably passed, even though given the age of both parties involved, Tana Mongeau being 17 at the time, Cody Co being 25 at the time, and knowingly engaging in what is known as statutory rape on a minor, it's still a crime, despite the fact that the statute of limitations is most likely passed at this point. Having said that, obviously it could be, Cody could still be open for civil litigation, but the way that I've seen Tana talk about it, seems like she just wants closure rather than like pursue.
That's the thing as well. For anyone who has been saying Tana's doing this to further her career in clout, please, Tana Mongeau has a better career nowadays than Cody Co does. But also, Tana Mongeau has been very open about the fact that all she wanted in this was like some acknowledgement, and that she, you know, never looked at it in the past as something that she felt a victim of, or whatever her phrasing was. And it was actually the response by everyone else made her realize that it wasn't okay. And it's just like the fact that people's thought when a victim speaks up is automatically that, well, why are you doing it now? Sorry, does it have to be convenient timing for you? Fuck off.
Suing him with any kind of litigation. Now, I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm just simply reacting to what I have seen since everyone was like, you have to talk about this, you have to cover this story, and I like looked into it a little bit. No, the age of consent is not 17.
What is it in America?
18. It's 18.
Some states have like Romeo and Juliet laws, which like give allowances to people who are like in a relationship within an age range that is like a little bit more appropriate.
Okay.
But in the state of Florida, it's still 18. And like
And we're not dealing with 17 and 17-year-old having sex after the 17-year-old turns 18. We're talking about a 25-year-old man having sex with a 17-year-old after being told by someone else that she was 17. Very different.
I said, a lot of the Romeo and Juliet laws like don't matter when it's, you know, when you're over the age of 21. Usually it's immoral. He was 25, she was a minor, period. Yeah, I mean, I don't think a single person is going to argue against that. This is not a libertarian community. Okay, no one's gonna be like, hold on now. Wait a minute, what? Like, no, it's yes.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, this is not the Republican National Convention, chatter. We were just simply watching the RNC. we are not in the RNC, so I don't know.
You weren't presenting there? I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I wanted to
were
really
speaking.
bad. But then they heard my opinions on age of consent, and they were like, no. You can't do that.
We both know that Tana Mongeau is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called...
Can we talk about all the Republicans, by the way, at the Republican thing? I see that fly again. You better. Oh, it's on my screen. Oh, and you're just crawling on my screen. Okay, can I? Little bastard. I want you to die so bad. It would bring me so much pleasure for you to drop dead right now. Anyways, can we talk about all the Republicans at that like Republican event all wearing like ear bandages in solidarity with Trump? But y'all drew the line at a face mask during COVID? Please.
Canceled with Tana Mongeau. And speaking of this podcast,
Banger
about a
name.
month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Co. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that.
This clip started making the rounds, and people were...
Now?
Yeah, because he's a little dick.
He's a little dick.
They're like,
Okay,
damn,
I
bro.
understand the drama.
You got a baby to get out of here.
Get
Oh,
out.
gross. That's what it is. God, I do love Tana. Like, I do think she has a way about her that is very, like, I get why she has a massive following. She's just very funny. This is like, albeit a very traumatic retelling of events, but even then she has a way of just like turning that into a humorous situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
understandably perturbed, because if Tana Mongeau was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating.
Does that mean he's 33 now?
Set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody Co when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you, and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a playlist live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear,
Who's Cody Co? This person doesn't even know who Cody Co is. Goes, Tana Mongeau is not a good woman. She's a horrible person. It's not in EU. EU is like 16. Tana Mongeau is not a good person.
You don't know who she is either.
Like,
you don't know
no,
who Cody Co is.
he doesn't
You
know who
know
Cody.
That's
He doesn't know who Cody is, but he knows Tana Mongeau, not a good person. Not a good
Horrible
person.
woman.
We are not in EU. She is not a good person, but. Oh man.
Okay,
Okay,
French
let's keep
guy.
going. Well, we're not in the EU. We're in
No, it's true.
Florida, which surprisingly has the age of consent at 18, which is a big L for all the libertarians out there.
okay. I'm gonna go kill this fly, and I'll be right back. Okay, all I'm saying is that fucker better be dead. Better be. On with the video.
It's crazy. Australia's lower than that.
Yeah.
17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place. So this means that Tana Mongeau is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Nothing would make this situation better, but plenty of things make it worse, like the fact that she was a fan of yours at the time, adding an additional layer to the power dynamic you would have had over her.
I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like, I was just like excited and a fan.
Tana seems to have many feelings about this, which we'll go over a bit later, but she stated very clearly that the actions she's accusing you of are inexcusable.
If I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something, like I would kill. I would never let it fly.
These recent allegations are bad.
And again, just on that point, this is a situation as well where the older you get, the more grasp you have on it. And Tana Mongeau now is only the age that Cody Co was when he decided to sleep with her. So, of course, the older she gets, the closer in age she gets to him in that moment, she'll have a different opinion. That's why she feels so much more protective over people that age now. And people should be allowed to process things at whatever time period they need, and they shouldn't be rushed. And that's why the statute of whatever it's called is bullshit. You know what I mean? You have to file within a couple of years or whatever. Well, most people only really figure out how they feel about it after a good few years. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
There are a couple of things that make them worse still. Things that many people don't know yet, but you do. You know that Tana has been making the same specific claim against you for years now. Here she is back in 2021 saying
He was a millionaire who grew up way not to do blow. Tana is not the same normal 17-year-old. She was a millionaire who grew up way sooner.
But Cody Co was also a millionaire.
Yeah.
Again, we have people here, blaming Tana. They're saying that basically she grew up, you know, so soon because she wasn't a regular teenager. Why does the fault always go on the victim?
Who
was older than her.
25. Yeah, what the dude, your brain is busted, chatter. Notoriously, people who get famous at an early age are never predated on. You know what I mean? By also sometimes other more famous people.
By older men in the industry.
Yeah, that is not like a story as old as time, you know? So it's good that the chatter chirped about that. But if she's drinking in the club, she's already underage though, so she's committing a crime herself. Bro, I heard she also jaywalked on the way to the club, dude.
It cancels out.
Yeah.
It cancels out.
Yeah,
Double
that's
jeopardy
right.
law. That's it.
You can kill her now, actually, legally. Legally, you can commit murder. Your Honor, you don't understand.
She was drunk.
You're calling her a victim, but also, you're calling my murder victim a victim, but did you consider that she was jaywalking and had many parking tickets?
It's like George Floyd. Was it?
It is really crazy, though, to just think of how, like, people will justify trying to find an issue that Tana did rather than Cody Co. Like, you people are sick in the head. You people are so sick in the head.
Yeah, but this time they're doing it. They're doing the George Floyd thing, but this time the Tenet Mojo. Yeah. Oh my God.
Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Co.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is...
I told a guy...
By the way, I'm skipping to their commentary.
I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside, and I was like, hey, man, you probably...
Bro, this is the most deep fried... How the f*** did D'Angelo Wallace find this video? This is like what happens in this day and age. It's like impossible to like truly delete a video, but like
I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
This is really...
That's pretty crazy.
Bad. People make accusations all the time, specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way. And frankly, Cody, the allegations against you seem to have been corroborated. But instead of researching to find these answers like I did, many of your fans seem far more interested in...
If Tana was making those claims, then why did she pursue it legally? I don't fucking know. Maybe she didn't think it was weird at the time. What are we talking about? Like, this is a very common...
Also, again, this is so stupid. It's like, what? Because Tana didn't sue him, it shouldn't affect her? Or because Tana didn't sue him, we shouldn't care about it? These people are just brain dead.
Also, she said she didn't want to press legal charges.
Yeah,
it's
she
way
still
easier to
doesn't...
just talk about something and then going to the police.
Yeah, also, she still, like, as far as I understand, she still is not like, oh, I'm trying to press legal charges or anything. Like, now that the statute is passed, it's become drama. I hate this shit. It's actual investigations need to happen. Otherwise, it's spitting at the wall. I fully believe this shit happened. By the way, just the way it's going on now is so immature. She's capable of pursuing it? No, she's not. Statute of limitations is passed.
What is statute? That's the time period you have to...
in attacking your accuser.
I've seen so many comments, but what was she...
...to any of this. But let's be clear about one thing.
All people in the
that
EU
is not the case.
Yeah, those are you people. I don't understand. I don't understand. 17 is too old, actually.
Yeah.
17 too. Now, thankfully, Tana...
This kind of makes the Dr. Disrespect situation even wilder because he was like 35 with a wife.
Insane.
Like, you know, I mean, it's across the board up, but it's just like, you know.
I need to look into that Dr. Disrespectful.
His personal experience with this isn't one of trauma. In fact, I've seen it as an identifiable source of trauma.
Tana didn't say it was consensual. She was 17. It doesn't matter. There's no like, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Body keeps the public victim blaming I've seen in years.
You believe any nasty that's European.
Flag with a...
That's so
Yes,
European.
in ways
That's
other than directly
that's a British
feeling.
person.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriol.
You just believe any nasty slag with a gaper that says whatever, I guess? Oh my God, British people.
Slag is so British, to be fair.
Oh my God. Nasty slag with a guypo. Oh God. Oh my God. Taking a lot of shots against the EU today. Yes, that's what happens when I talk about this thing called the age of consent in the United States of America being 18.
Vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and
Co with someone that like people didn't like that much.
A lot of people, by the way, they were like, "Oh yeah, I knew he was always like this." Like, dude, I've known this dude for 10 years. Like, we've done content together in the past. Like, I've been on his podcast, and I had no fucking idea. He never gave off the vibes that he was like a creepy person that would do a thing like this at all. Like, I had no clue. So if I didn't know, I'm shocked at chatter.
Even though it took so long, thank God all of his collaborators are finally talking about this, because again, it just puts pressure to address this and not allow this to be another phenomenon of the story just like fizzling out and just like dying off.
Picked up on it from behind the camera when you're watching these people like put their best face forward.
Yeah.
Much.
Oh my
I
God.
would be receiving so much more.
being contradicted by a
Especially because like this juxtaposition is more glaring because he is like him and Noel have a pretty progressive audience.
Yeah.
I've often like held them up as like, you know, content creators who are pretty progressive that don't, you know, make their politics immediately known. And I think ultimately like they have cultivated an audience that is also like-minded progressive. And probably like a big chunk of their audience is women too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure it's very high.
Yeah. So it's just like his wife seems like a nice lady. Yeah, Kelsey is a wonderful person. It's odd.
It's also just weird he hasn't addressed it. Like,
Yeah.
this is first.
Not only that he hasn't addressed it, that he's actively silencing, or his moderators are silencing anyone bringing it up.
What, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he's just still
don't-
uploading the same videos.
Yeah. Is the law really an issue here? Like they're both in a state in a country. The age of consent was 17. This was.
But it wasn't, it was 18.
I think it still
It
would be.
creepy, yeah.
It was 18 in Florida.
I think beyond that, it's like weird that he hasn't said anything about it. He hasn't like. It's just weird that he hasn't said anything about it at all over all these years. He hasn't like tried to make amends or anything like that. You know what I mean?
And the fact that he DM'd Tana when this started to come out ages ago, and he was like, hey, just to make sure we're okay, right? He knew eventually this was going to come out.
Because like I'm not the type of person who thinks that like you know people are impossible to redeem. I'm not. I don't think that there is a single person out there that is like I'm always going to be a firm committed believer in rehabilitative justice. But the first step in that process is admission or recognition of the wrongdoing and seeking out atonement. So like if you don't do that, which he's not really doing, and like actively running away from this, then
But also, this is this phenomenon of creators then who come out and like, it's like, if he comes out now and addresses it, like, okay, but it's like, wow, you've been silencing this topic for 4, like, this really bothers me about creators who like finally address something, and it's like, wow, but you were in silence for 5 fucking weeks. And it's always like this phenomenon of, wow, it took you 5 weeks to say this. Like, it's like, you just make it more impossible for yourself the longer you stay silent. It's not worth it.
oh, this is just ridiculous.
a witness. And like I told you at the beginning, I'm not accusing you of. There's more clips than that, but the reason most people are blissfully unaware of them is
Cody didn't even know the other lyrics. He just wanted to say the N-word. I feel like this is from an era, like obviously this is completely unacceptable.
yeah.
But this is from an era where like they'd beat your ass if you were a white dude who didn't say the N-word. You know what I mean? Like we're talking like 2010.
Well, it was like in my school, no one said the N-word in 2010. Not because we weren't allowed to say it, but we just didn't know what the word was. It wasn't even a thing
Well, you're
in
Australian.
Australian culture yet.
You're Australian. It's
It was
different.
so
You guys
funny.
you guys have a separate one. That was 2014, I believe. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like in order to get a YouTube button, you got to say it. It's so true. It's like and I mean every YouTuber, every white YouTuber, 188 likes, dude.
On
Ain't nobody
Patreon.
saw that. Ain't nobody saw that. Is the idubbbz thing right? Is content cop on her, which he has rescinded, try to take the route of either all words are okay or none of them are okay? No, I don't think that's what Cody was doing.
No.
But I do think that.
Also, fuck idubbbz. That video was so fucking...
The thing is, I mean, this is self-preservation. Like, doing this is self-preservation to be like, oh, I'm still doing the right thing, guys. Like, look at me. Obviously, the other side of this is like when you are.
They're currently talking about Cody Ko's paywalled apology, by the way. If you want to hear him say sorry for saying the M-word, you've got to pay $10 a month. That's crazy behavior.
Truly trying to make things right, like idubbbz did, people still go after you so hard. Now, obviously, Cody himself never like took it to the idubbbz route, with the exception of this Tana stuff that's now coming out. So I think even at that time, if he just like came out and was like, yo, this is what I did, I'm so sorry, it's like being resurfaced, it was so stupid or whatever, it probably would, like, I think his fan base would not have been like, that's really f***ed up. But let's continue.
Twitter. This is one of many examples of your poor handling of controversy. Not many people know that you've already legal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people...
So, by the way, this is about his friend. We've already watched the D'Angelo's video. That's why I'm skipping through. Like, I want to hear their commentary and their take on it, which is important to me. They're currently talking about Cody Co's friend. Remember? His friend that he's still friends with to this day, who recorded himself having sex with someone without their consent and allegedly drugged them before it. Remember that one, that story, that he's still friends with that person to this day? Made so many videos with him, and said that, you know, stopped making videos with him, but still hangs out with him. Went to his wedding not that long ago. That's what we're talking about right now.
We discovered this information over...
Shout out to D'Angelo, because I didn't fucking know that. It's disgusting.
You refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't. But now...
Bro, what is this dude got you in a spell? What the what's happening?
Like, I don't understand. Like, obviously, you shouldn't be friends with a rapist. You should remove that man from your life. But why is he still posting photos with him as well? He doesn't
just
care
like,
about it at all.
Nah, dude, I ride for this moment. You don't understand me, okay? You don't understand me, dude. This is my guy. What the
He just doesn't care.
What the bro, that is like, oh my God. Okay, I thought like
he was the best man.
Like I didn't realize it was getting worse than where it had gone. That's crazy.
Your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship.
How are you still alive? Oh, and it's rubbing its hands together. You dirty bastard. How the fuck are you still alive? It's gonna fly again. It's gonna fly again. I feel like I need to prove to you that it's still alive, so I'm gonna see if I can... Is it gonna fly over here? No, it's like over there. Okay. I wonder if I could spray it from here. Did it fall? For some reason, I spray it with fabric freshener and it really knocks the bastard out. And my room smells lovely after it. I don't know if that knocked the little bastard out. Thought I killed you the first time, bitch. Anyways.
On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need.
And that's him putting his wife in that situation.
Your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence...
All of this stuff is from a long ago. Couldn't you have said he's changed? I'm not talking about it as weird as though. I mean, dude, once again, the point of contention, that would be something that people are ruthless about regardless. But there is no reason to change if you are never really held accountable. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people will, by the way.
We're addressing it.
People will not ever look at you the same way. A lot of people will never look at you the same way after that. They'll be like, oh yeah, you're done. You're done. Problem is, if there's never a point where you take accountability for it and you sweep it under the rug, then there's never been a moment for atonement. There's never been a recognition. You know what I mean?
This isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation.
God, that's why everybody was coming in here being like, you talked about Dr. Disrespect. Why didn't you talk about Cody Co? That's why you motherfuckers are so dumb in this community. I swear to God, dude. Oh my God, bro. I don't think he's taking shots at me, brother. I think he's taking shots at, like, you know, channels that regularly cover things like this and things like this only.
Now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being a...
in this industry who like want to protect him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he probably means like the largest channel that he would be calling out in a situation like this would be like, you know, Charlie, who I think has covered it after this video.
Yeah, all
But,
the clear drama channels.
yeah, all the channels that like regularly do commentary on like YouTube stuff, influencer culture, things like that. I don't think he means like, why isn't the channel that has been predisposed with covering the ongoing act of genocide in Gaza for the past 9 months taking a sidestep here like he did with Dr. Disrespect, who I obviously had personal involvement with not only him but all the other people.
I need to deep dive this Dr. Disrespectful.
Massive content creator in my space. Cody Co, on the other hand, is a YouTuber with a massive normie audience. Very different. That's why there's still people going, who the f is Cody Co in the chat? Like, Cody Co, I would say, is obviously more relevant than Dr. Disrespect in the broader sphere.
In the YouTube sphere.
In the YouTube sphere especially, but Dr. Disrespect is significantly more relevant on Twitch because he got banned off Twitch. Not that I need to like explain to you guys anything, obviously. I've never in my history once like covered for someone who has done horrible after finding out that they've done horrible so there's no reason for you to, you know, come in here with like some cynical attitude
and are like talking to me in a way where it's like they, you know what I mean? Like, or even just friends like,
either way.
When did you first hear stuff about this? Not blaming you for not talking about this D'Angelo Wallace video and the subsequent like people coming to me and being like, dude, I can't believe you haven't covered Cody Co.
I feel like I heard about it like 3 weeks ago, but I make guns on shoes. I was going to be like, I did a thing video about Cody Co.
It's like f***ed up.
That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Well, I wonder if he's going to respond.
I don't know, but like I said, it's a weird situation. Only made additionally weird by the fact that he's like he has garnered a massive progressive audience. Like he has a very progressive audience overall. He has an audience that has like a lot of women in it specifically, and the reason why he has that audience is because like the way he has presented himself.
I'm saying he's like trusted by them.
Was anything different than this either, I'll be perfectly honest with you, is a relatively progressive guy. Like, you know, he makes fun of misogynists and the like. D'Angelo's...
Okay, here's what I want to say. I think that Hasan made a really great point, which is like, Cody has to be aware that there's going to be a lot of people that do not look at him the same way ever again. That's a given. That is a given. That is a given. But there's going to be an even bigger... okay. Flight is on my screen. I'm just going to have to... Okay, you little bastard. Shit, he's like titanium. That body of yours is absurd. It's withstanding anything. I wish it would just die. Anyways, but there's going to be an even bigger portion of your audience that would have wanted to forgive you, but because you didn't give them the chance to forgive you, or them forgive you, by making a video addressing it, you've now lost an even bigger chunk of support from people, and it's just like this never-ending cycle because of you, and you're doing, and you're... I can barely breathe in here with that fabric frightener. With your refusal to acknowledge what you're being accused of. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you're your worst enemy here. And the longer he waits to address this, the more it's going to be, oh, it took you 5 weeks to say that? I mean, good luck, Cody. Muckers, let me know your opinion. I really liked Hasan's take on this. All right, goodbye.